Malcolm actually starting to pull away a little bit there. A little bit surprised that Wayne Clark's going quite this well this early, because he is the number 2 rider in the Mentor team.
But look at number 14, Phyllis, in front of number 8, Willing in 3rd place. And Phyllis and Campbell, both on Suzuki's, obviously wanting to force the pace to try and pick up the time that they need if they're to do an extra pit stop over the Hondas.
Phyllis claimed that in fact he wanted to follow the Hondas for a while and see if he could win from the back, but it's what was his race plan is obviously not what's eventuating for him.
Lap time coming down to 57.21 now. We've been up around 57.8s, down to 6s, and now 2.1.
I think we'll actually see them get into the 56s as this dice develops, because they're confident now that the bikes are doing everything right and they've got some heat in their tyres and they're used to the track again. So I think we'll see some 56 seconds laps soon.
Lovely variation on lines there between those leading riders as they came out of Honda corner through the kink, and now Winfield, the slow second gear corner onto the straight round the lake, then Wunderlich corner onto pit straight past their pit crews, and then the burst up the hill, all of them chasing Campbell. And the riders now on their 7th lap. 56.96. There's Dennis Neal's forecast of breaking into the 56s, a 56.96 for this man on that Suzuki, Malcolm Campbell. Working the bike beautifully, Phyllis behind him on 14. 8, hounding him, that's Willing. So Willing the best placed of the Hondas. 4th place, another Suzuki, Hiscock. 5th place, 2, Clark, another Honda. 6th place, number 5, Pete Byers, another Honda. And then Chivers on a Suzuki number 6, being followed by 7, Jeff French on a Honda. A 56.58. Every lap, 2-3 tenths coming off the times.
Certainly spreading the field. There's almost half a lap now between first and last.
Malcolm Campbell was saying to me yesterday that he's got his bike that well set up and he's that used to riding it the way it is set up now that he can do quite a good string of 56.5s.
What a bit of squeezing going on there between 2nd and 3rd through the kink, as Phyllis arguing with 8, Len Willing, and squeezing each other. Honda leading that pair from the Suzuki Katana, and in third in the group is Neville Hiscock, he's last year's winner, number 1. This is hard stuff early in the race. They've only been racing 8 minutes.
This stage of the race, it's hard to remember while you're out there riding that it is a 6-hour race, and you treat it more like a 10-lap sprint. You just want to pass that guy in front.
Well, there's 3 guys that are. There's the race leader pulling out quite a handy little margin, particularly if they keep up this argument. Phyllis from Willing in the group there, and behind them Neville Hiscock, Willing the 2nd, but Phyllis will have him back on the inside run to Wunderlich, not quite. And you can see the gap from them back to 5th. The next part of the pack being headed by 5 from 7, that's Pete Byers from Jeff French, both of them Hondas. Oh, beautiful stuff. And Dennis Neal, they're arriving really quickly at that point.
They sure are. That's very beautiful to watch. These guys all really trust each other, and to ride that close at well over 110 miles an hour, you've got to have perfect trust in the guy that's 3 or 4 inches away from you.
Which is the speed through here, through Mazda corner on that sweep. Hard in
4th gear. Back to 2nd for Honda corner. And full throttle on the left. You don't have to worry about serving the tyres on the left-hand side. There's only 2 left-handers in the whole circuit, so you can really give it to it coming out of there.
1.48 seconds the gap from Malcolm Campbell, now back to Len Willing.
Now actually comes the critical part of the 6-hour race. It isn't so much how fast you can lap on a clean circuit, it's when you come up to the traffic. 40 bikes being in the race, the whole time you are lapping slower riders, and it's how well you slip through without being held up.
The gap first to second is 0.84 only now. You can see Campbell's lost ground. Getting through the back markers, he pioneering on behalf of the field. He's losing time and has lost a valuable half second or more to Willing, who's tending to make a bit of a break behind him from the two that he's keeping company with, which are 14 Phyllis and 1 Neville Hiscock. This man starting to rein in Campbell. Look at the gap, nothing in it now. 1.2, he's pulled it back to. And again, Dennis, just as the riders are starting to explore their way through, the lead riders, it's also something of an awakening for the tail enders who are being picked up, because it's the first time anybody's coming by them.
That's right, and they'd be pretty amazed to be being lapped in 7 or 8 laps into the race. So it will be harder for Malcolm to actually give them the fright, and then they'll be aware of that their faster guys are coming through.
Order changed, where you can see now Neville Hiscock's in front of Rob Phillis, bikes 1 and 14. Both of them Suzuki's, chasing this big Honda with Willing carbon fibre, that fairing, and worth $1,300. And the race leader, Suzuki. So it's Suzuki, Honda, 4th.
See how smooth they are. That's the whole secret to this race, is trying to be as smooth as possible and be as easy on the motorbike and your tyres as you can.
Out of Honda corner again, through the kink and down to Winfield, the stop corner. And there's the man they're after, and Willing really is after him. This is the Suzuki-Honda argument.
In a situation like this, it is always easier for the second rider because he's got someone to gauge himself against. Now, the lead rider probably wouldn't be getting lap boards at this stage, so he'd be just riding pretty much and feeling his way as he goes around.
Well, look at Willing's difficulty here. A whole pile of riders to find his way through, and with not Willing, Campbell, and with Willing hot on his heels. That's a real clump, which means, of course, that they're concentrating on each other rather than on being lapped, as Willing goes down inside Neary on number 39, a Suzuki 750, or Campbell at least. 20 that he's with there has been changed to a Suzuki 750, and that's John Allen.
Certainly shows you how the experience counts here. He just passed about 7 riders within 2 corners. It's a real treat for those guys when a rider such as Malcolm or any of the leading riders come past you. The 6 hour, you can learn an awful lot by following them for 2 or 3 laps.
They're going to have to step on the gas to be able to follow them, I think.
Right. As they get a little bit more in the groove, they'll be able to follow them a little bit longer, but probably learn more in a Castrol 6 hour race than you do in a year of doing normal meetings, I think.
Beautiful the way Campbell just cut inside that lap rider there. Had him lined up from about 2 corners before.
Timing the gap between the leader, Campbell, and Willing in second place on the Honda number 8 shows that Campbell's quicker around the back part of the circuit, but Willing's quicker from the Honda corner up to the kink on the main straight.